Yes, the coveted Wingman. The Wingman is synonymous with Apex Legends. When you think about Apex, you think about the Wingman. From season 0, 1, and 2, back in the day, seeing crazy Wingman clips from people like Asu and Dizzy, to even now being an extremely popular weapon in the game. We even know recently, because of ALGS and Nicewig's interview with the weapon designer dev of Apex Legends, his favorite gun in the game is the Wingman. And I can't lie, it's my favorite too. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Sword Drum Bum here on the Sword Gaming channel, here to lend you a few tips on how to get better at the Wingman in Apex Legends. And if you're wondering to yourself, why should I listen to this dude? Well, I might have a few kills on the Wingman myself. All right, so today we have 5 tips for you on how to get better at using the Wingman in Apex Legends. First things first, listen, if you stop the video right now, if you don't want to watch anymore, please just listen to this one tip. This one tip will change everything for you. Stop flicking the Wingman. Everyone likes to think about, especially when they first start playing Apex Legends, especially when they see clips from all kind of Wingman users and players, that they have to flick the Wingman. It's a flick weapon. That is absolutely not the case. Apex Legends is a high TTK game. It takes a long time to eliminate your opponents. You want to be as accurate, as efficient, and as precise as possible, especially with a weapon like the Wingman. That means you shouldn't be aiming it like flicking all over the place, but tracking like you do in every other weapon in Apex Legends. You don't flick the R99 sprays. You don't flick your R301 sprays. You don't flick your flatline sprays. You track them, and tracking is vital when it comes to using the Wingman. So instead of flicking all over the place, trying to go from one spot to flick to your target, you're gonna want to track your Wingman the same way you would track an R99 spray. Keep your eyes on your opponent, crosshair focus over them. Instead of flicking around, you're literally tracking with your aim the same way you would with a spray weapon. That is my #1 tip with the Wingman. If you don't listen to anything else, please, for the love of everything in the world, stop flicking. You don't need to do this. It might look cool when your favorite streamer does it, like Sword Drum Bum, but you don't need to do it. Just track your Wingman shots. You will be way more efficient, way more precise, and do way more damage with the Wingman, especially at close ranges. Tip #2, strafing. So if you guys don't know this, if you're new to Apex Legends or you've actually played for a long time and never realized this, every weapon class has a different strafe speed when you're holding it in your hand. Everything from pistols all the way up to snipers, there's a different strafe speed holding each weapon in your hand. Pistols, obviously, is the lightest weapon, so therefore has the fastest strafe speed in the entire game. That's another huge factor in the Wingman. So instead of standing still, trying to make sure you're getting your kills, and being a big target while you're shooting the Wingman, strafe, move. You have the ability to counter strafe and jiggle strafe in a 1v1 situation, especially when somebody else is shooting you with a spray weapon, or if you're in a close range fight with a controller player and they don't miss a bullet. Okay, sorry, no, but in all seriousness, strafe more. Even if that means AD strafing back and forth while you're fighting on somebody, you're going to be way harder to hit. That's why it's such a big deal when you're fighting somebody and they have a Wingman and they're jumping all over the place and they seem to be not missing. It's because they're not standing still. Pistols have the fastest strafe speed in Apex Legends. Use that to your advantage. Tip #3, Hipfire. Now, unlike the P2020 and the RE45, the Wingman obviously doesn't have a laser sight attachment to make Hipfire more accurate. But in order to make your Hipfire more accurate when using the Wingman, and honestly all guns in Apex, but it feels especially accurate when you're using the Wingman, crouch Hipfire. When you crouch Hipfire, your bullet spread reduces a whole lot more than when you're just normal hip firing. Hipfire accuracy on the Wingman isn't great, obviously, at ranges or anything like that. But when you're close range in a fight and you're strafing really fast and you decide to track your target the same exact way, but with Hipfire, if you crouch while you're hip firing, you're way more likely to hit those shots. So that's a big tip I definitely see, and I use all the time when I'm in a 1v1 or in a close range fight situation. I hip fire my Wingman shots while crouching. Especially if you jump crouch, you become way more accurate and a lot harder to hit. Tip #4. Now, this is really important. You don't want your lack of experience using different sights to hinder you in your ability to use this weapon. So my tip #4 is to get comfortable with all sights for the Wingman. Primarily these 3. These 3 are the best that you can use for the Wingman specifically. You're gonna want to get comfortable with the iron sights. The Wingman, in my opinion, is one of the best weapons to use off drop. If you land on a Wingman, your ability of winning fights go up tremendously. The Wingman, in my opinion, is the best weapon to get off drop. It does so much damage with so little bullets. The firing rate doesn't change depending on whether you have a bolt or something like in a shotgun. And if you hit headshots, they're easy 2 taps if someone has a white armor or a white helmet. So you're definitely absolutely want to spend time using the iron sights of the Wingman. Now, I will say there are certain skins that have better iron sights than others when it comes to the Wingman. Now, the Wingman does have certain skins that have better iron sights than other skins. And my advice to you is if you have enough crafting material is to go and cop one of those skins. Now, there are many recolors that I personally have on my account, but there are 2 Wingman skins that are in everybody's account that they can unlock right now that have the best iron sights in the game. One is Merciless Wing and the other is the Death Ray. So if you really want to upper hand on iron sights, make sure to try to get enough crafting materials to craft these skins. Now, in my opinion, the best sight to put on the Wingman is the 1X HCOG Classic. This is the best sight in the entire game for the Wingman, in my opinion. Now, the biggest issue with the Wingman when you're aiming something is that the visual recoil of the weapon is so drastic. Well, 1, the 1X HCOG does in fact remove some of that visual recoil, but 2, it clears up your field of view. There's less clutter in between yourself, the dot, and your enemy. So you're definitely going to want to get really comfortable using the HCOG 1X Classic. It has the least amount of visual clutter, is the clearest to use, and feels the best on the Wingman. Now, following that up, you do want to try to get comfortable with the 1X digital threat on the Wingman. Now, hear me out. Some people may hate the digi threat on the Wingman. They might think it's too bulky, it's not that comfortable, but hear me out. Right now, the meta in the game is a ton of Bangalores, and you're seeing Bangalore smoke everywhere. Now, using the digital threat in Bangalore smoke is absolutely devastating. You go from having absolutely no chance of seeing anything at all with an HCOG to being able to see everything clearly and precisely, and to be as comfortable as possible while using the Wingman. So I highly recommend practicing with the digi threat on the Wingman to get better at. And last but not least, my final tip is this. Stop being afraid of this weapon. Now, you might think, oh, I'm whiffing, I'm so bad. That's okay. That's okay to be bad at something. But the only way to get better at it is to practice it. We have this beautiful firing range, and I feel like a lot of people don't use it to its full potential. Get in here, run around, and use the Wingman as much as possible with all the sights, all the attachments, and try to get as comfortable as you can with bots strafing, with bots standing still, whatever you need to do. If you want to work on just headshots, do that, whatever it means to get more comfortable using the Wingman. This is a weapon that you want to use to the maximum ability. It has so many advantages over other weapons in the game, and that's why I think the Wingman is the best weapon in Apex Legends. Thank you for checking this video out. If you want to see more tips from us over here at Sword Gaming and our creators, make sure you're subscribed and make sure to comment down below what weapon do you want tips on next. If you enjoyed anything from me, my links to all of my socials will be down below, to my YouTube channel, and I stream daily on Twitch as well. It's been your boy Sword Drum Bum here on the Sword Gaming Apex Legends channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.